Welcome to our channel, a space where we transform words into knowledge. Here we share long summaries of personal development audiobooks and key tools to unleash your full potential. If you are looking for inspiration and practical strategies to improve your life, this is your place. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any more content. Today we explore The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz, a book that has changed the way many people approach success. This personal development classic teaches you how to expand your mindset and believe in your ability to achieve extraordinary goals. As the author explains, success doesn't depend on having a brilliant intellect or being exceptionally lucky. It depends on thinking big and acting on it. Join me as we break down the essential lessons from this transformative book. This journey can be the first step toward a fuller, more successful life. Chapter 1. Believe you can succeed and you will. Belief, that I can attitude, generates the power, skill, and energy you need to achieve your goals. Success means different things to each person. It can be having financial security, enjoying a warm home, traveling, or simply providing the best for those you love. But there is one thing common to all. Success begins with a firm belief that you can achieve it. David Schwartz reminds us that it is not talent, intelligence, or luck that defines your path to success, but your ability to believe in yourself. A lesson in power. On one occasion, a young man wanted to open his mobile home business. He had neither experience nor sufficient capital, but he had something more powerful: belief. He believed that he could overcome barriers and build something significant. His confidence attracted investors and soon transformed his small dream into a $1 million business. When you believe that you can, your mind starts working in your favor. It finds solutions and resources that previously seemed hidden. But if you doubt, your mind closes, looking for reasons to justify failure. Here is a reflection. Think about your own life. How many times have you stopped your goals because you doubted your abilities? Imagine for a moment changing those thoughts of "I can't" to "I can." The magic of thinking big starts with the seed of belief. 3 steps to cultivating self-belief. Think success, not failure. Change your internal narrative. Instead of "I can't do it," tell yourself, "I'll find a way." When you visualize success, your mind starts working to make it happen. Remember that you are more capable than you think. Successful people are not superheroes. They are ordinary individuals who developed extraordinary confidence in their abilities. Never sell yourself short. Believe big. The size of your goals will determine the size of your accomplishments. Big dreams inspire big actions. The Thought Factory. Schwartz uses a powerful metaphor. Your mind is like a factory with 2 foremen. One, called Mr. Success, manufactures reasons why you can achieve your goals. The other, Mr. Defeat, finds excuses to justify why you can't. Which foreman takes over depends on who you give more work to. Feed Mr. Success with positive, constructive thoughts. Fire Mr. Defeat. There's no room for him in your mind if you're seeking to achieve your goals. Let's do an exercise. Today, take a moment to write down a goal you want to achieve. Instead of focusing on the obstacles, write down 3 reasons why you can achieve it. Read these reasons every day, and you'll see how your actions begin to align with your belief. In conclusion, the path to success is not magic, but it does begin with an internal magic: believing big. When you adjust your internal thermostat towards success, you discover paths you didn't see before. Remember, greatness begins when you decide you are capable of achieving it. So what are you going to believe today? Believe in yourself and transform your world. Chapter 2. Cure excusitis, the disease of failure. Excuses are like anchors that keep you trapped in mediocrity. David Schwartz defines excusitis as one of the most common and destructive diseases for success. This mental illness affects those who constantly seek to justify their lack of action instead of facing challenges. It is a trap that distances us from our dreams and goals, trapping us in a cycle of mediocrity. The 4 types of excuses that hold back your success. Health excuses. Many people use real or imagined health problems to avoid responsibilities or challenges. I can't push myself too hard because I don't feel well. Schwartz reminds us that, although taking care of our health is important, we often exaggerate limitations. It is better to focus on what we can do within our capabilities. An example, a man with a chronic condition decided to use his limitations as a reason to live with more discipline. He changed his habits, improved his health, and achieved goals that others considered impossible. Intelligence excuses. The belief that we are not smart enough to achieve something is one of the most common excuses. I am not smart enough to start a business or learn something new. Schwartz challenges us to remember that intelligence is not everything. Attitude, perseverance, and constant learning carry more weight. An example, instead of focusing on what you don't know, spend time learning. Enroll in a course, read about the subject, or seek out mentors who can guide you. Age excuses. Whether you feel too young or too old, using age as a reason not to act is a paralyzing excuse. It's too late to start something new. Schwartz reminds us that it is never too late or too early to pursue our goals. An inspiring story, a 60-year-old man decided to learn to play the piano, something he had always put off. His perseverance not only gave him a new skill, but also inspired others to pursue their dreams no matter their age. Luck excuses. Some people attribute their lack of success to bad fortune, believing that success depends solely on external circumstances. I have no luck in life. Schwartz emphasizes that luck is not a determining factor. What matters is your attitude and willingness to work for what you want. Here's an example. Instead of waiting for luck to change, take control of your situation. Look for opportunities, create connections, and take action. How to cure excusitis. Recognize your excuses. The first step to eliminating excuses is to identify them. Be honest with yourself about the thoughts and beliefs that are limiting your action. Reframe yourself to change phrases like "I can't because" to "how can I?" This transforms your focus, opening your mind to solutions instead of obstacles. Take action, even if it's small. One of the best ways to overcome excuses is to take action, even if you don't feel fully prepared. Each small step builds momentum and confidence. Inspiring example from the book. The book tells the story of two men with similar health issues. One used his condition as an excuse to avoid responsibility and moan. The other, instead, decided to view his situation as a challenge. He worked determinedly to improve his health, achieve his goals, and in the process inspire those around him. Your circumstances don't define you. It's your attitude toward them that makes the difference. Take a moment to think. What are your most common excuses for not taking action? What could you accomplish if you replaced those excuses with a plan of action? How can you turn your limitations into opportunities? Remember that every time you eliminate an excuse, you take one step closer to success and personal fulfillment. How to get started today. The sages taught Julian that change begins with small steps. Here are some actions you can take today to make better use of your time. Identify a common excuse you use. Write down how you could reframe it into something positive and actionable. Make a list of your strengths. Focus on what you do have going for you, rather than your limitations. Take action. Pick a task, no matter how small, and do it today. Bottom line, the power of taking action without excuses. Schwartz teaches us that excuses are self-imposed barriers that keep us from our goals. Overcoming them requires a change in mindset and a commitment to action. When you stop making excuses and start taking action, you'll discover that you're much more capable than you ever imagined. Change "I can't" to "I'm going to try," and you'll see how new possibilities open up in your life. Remember, success begins when you decide to leave excuses behind and move forward with determination. What excuse are you ready to eliminate today? The excuse doesn't define your life, you do. Take action and transform your world. Chapter 3. Build confidence and destroy fear. Fear paralyzes, but action destroys it. Fear is a universal obstacle that can stop even the most talented people. David Schwartz explains that this silent enemy doesn't discriminate. It affects those who want to undertake, those who seek deeper relationships, and those who try to improve their personal or professional life. However, there is a clear and effective solution to overcome it: action. Confidence is not something we are born with, but something we build step by step. Each action we take, however small, weakens the power of fear and strengthens our ability to move forward. The impact of fear on our lives. Fear is like a prison we build with our own thoughts. It stops us from taking risks, makes us doubt our abilities, and convinces us that we are not good enough. Schwartz reminds us that fear does not magically disappear. The only way to overcome it is to face it. The key is to act despite fear, trusting that each step will lead us to gain strength and clarity. Here's a thought for you. How many opportunities have you passed up because of fear? What could you achieve if you dared to take the first step, even with fear? How to build confidence and overcome fear. Identify your fears. The first step to overcoming fear is to recognize it. Write a list of the things that hold you back. By putting them into words, you begin to understand them and take away some of their power. Act despite fear. Schwartz highlights that action is the best cure for fear. Don't wait to feel fully prepared, just take the first step. Here's an example. If you're afraid of public speaking, start by speaking in small groups or practicing in front of a mirror. Each attempt will reduce your anxiety and increase your confidence. Change your internal dialogue. Replace limiting thoughts like, "I can't do it," with affirmations like, "I can try and learn in the process." Reprogram your mind to focus on the positive and the possibilities. Focus on the benefits, not the risks. Instead of thinking about everything that could go wrong, focus on what you can gain by facing your fear. This will help you find the motivation to act. Confidence as a tool for success. Schwartz teaches us that confidence not only helps us face fear, but it is also a fundamental pillar for achieving our goals. When you trust yourself, you project confidence and attract opportunities. An example: a confident salesperson inspires credibility in his clients, while an insecure one generates doubts, even if he has a better product. Confidence does not guarantee success, but it opens the necessary doors to achieve it. Confidence is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. A practical exercise: face your fears. Make a list. Write down the fears that are holding you back right now. Pick one. Pick the most manageable fear from the list and plan a specific action to face it. Take action. Take that first step, no matter how small. It could be making a call, starting a difficult conversation, or seeking information about something that scares you. Repeat. Every time you face a fear, you reduce its power and increase your confidence. Here's a thought. What could you gain by facing one of your fears today? Next time you feel fear, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? And what could I gain by trying? How overcoming fear transformed others. In the book, Schwartz tells inspiring stories of people who, despite their fears, took courageous action and achieved extraordinary results. One of these stories tells the story of a man who was afraid of failing in his business. Instead of giving up, she decided to take action, learning from each mistake and building her confidence with each small achievement. Eventually, she transformed her fear into determination and achieved success she had never imagined. Fear is temporary, but missed opportunities can last forever. Final reflection for the listener. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what fear has been holding me back lately? What would be the first step to face it? How would it feel to move forward even a little toward what I really want? Remember, confidence doesn't come before you act, it's built along the way. Every step you take toward your goals is a victory over fear. Conclusion: action destroys fear. David Schwartz leaves us with a clear lesson: fear only has power if we let it. Acting is the best way to face it and build the confidence we need to achieve our dreams. It doesn't matter how small your steps are, every action counts. When you feel fear, take a deep breath and take that first step. You'll see how action opens doors and transforms your fears into confidence and possibilities. What fear are you ready to face today? The first step is the hardest, but also the most powerful. Chapter 4: How to Think Big. Think big and you'll live big. You'll live big and you'll be happy. David Schwartz invites us to reflect on the transformative power of thinking big. The scarcity mindset, which leads us to settle for less, limits our potential and keeps us from our most ambitious goals. Thinking big doesn't mean being unrealistic or dreaming of the impossible, but rather broadening our vision of what's possible and working with determination to achieve it. When we think big, we not only change our perspective, but we also inspire those around us, opening doors and opportunities that previously seemed unattainable. Scarcity mindset versus abundance mindset. Schwartz explains that many people get stuck in the scarcity mindset, believing they can only aspire to the bare minimum. This leads them to limit themselves, avoid risks, and accept less than they deserve. Instead, thinking big means adopting an abundance mindset, visualizing meaningful goals, and taking action to achieve them. In the book, Schwartz mentions that big ideas are not necessarily harder to execute than small ones. In fact, big goals often attract more support and resources because they inspire others and generate enthusiasm. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you think small, you will limit your achievements. But if you dare to think big, you will expand your vision and your possibilities. How to start thinking big? Change your limiting thoughts. Many times, we stop before we start because we think something is too difficult or impossible. Replace those ideas with questions like, how can I achieve this? What steps can I take to get closer to this goal? Who can help me on this path? By reframing your thoughts, you train your mind to look for solutions instead of obstacles. Visualize your ideal future. Spend time imagining what your life would be like if you had no limitations. What would you do? Where would you be? This practice not only motivates you, but also helps you identify concrete goals. An example, close your eyes and think about the best possible scenario for your career, relationships, or personal projects. Then, write down 3 steps you could take today to get closer to that vision. Surround yourself with people who think big. Your environment influences your mindset. If you are surrounded by people who settle for little, you are likely to adopt that attitude. Seek to associate with people who dream big and act accordingly. A tip, join groups, communities, or events where you can interact with ambitious and motivated people. Practical exercise. Expand your vision. Make a list of 3 important goals you have in your life. Then, for each goal, ask yourself, what would happen if I doubled or tripled this goal? What resources would I need to achieve it? What people or tools could help me get there? This exercise helps you challenge your own limits and see what is really possible when you think big. How thinking big impacts those around you. Schwartz explains that thinking big not only transforms your life, but also the lives of those around you. Ambitious goals inspire and motivate others, generating a network of support and collective enthusiasm. An inspiring story. The author tells the story of an entrepreneur who decided to expand his small business instead of settling for a stable business. His ambitious vision attracted investors, talent, and clients, making his company a benchmark in its industry. When you dare to think big, you inspire others to do so as well, creating a multiplier effect of success and motivation. Take a moment to think, am I limiting my goals out of fear or comfort? What could I achieve if I dared to dream big? What steps can I take today to start building that larger vision? Remember that thinking big doesn't mean neglecting details or ignoring risks, but rather broadening your horizon and working purposefully toward what you truly want. Conclusion: living big starts with thinking big. David Schwartz teaches us that our goals and accomplishments are limited only by the magnitude of our thoughts. When you dare to think big, you begin to live with more passion, energy, and purpose. Don't let small thoughts dictate a limited life. Open your mind to the infinite possibilities that await you. The next time you face a challenge or an important decision, ask yourself, am I thinking big? If the answer is no, adjust your perspective and visualize success at its fullest potential. What big goal would you like to achieve? The first step to living big is to think big. Chapter 5. How to think and dream creatively. Creative thinking opens doors to new opportunities and solutions. David Schwartz teaches us that creativity is not a talent reserved for a few, it is a skill that we can all develop. Creative thinking is a powerful tool for solving problems, generating innovative ideas, and improving all aspects of our lives. When you learn to think creatively, you see opportunities where others see limitations, and you find solutions where others find obstacles. Barriers that block creativity. Although we all have the potential to think creatively, we often encounter barriers that limit our ability to do so. Schwartz identifies 3 common blocks. Fear of error. Many people believe that making mistakes is synonymous with failure, which leads them to avoid risks and settle for what is known. However, mistakes are an essential part of the creative process. Key lesson: error is not the enemy, it is a teacher that helps us improve. Traditional thinking. Phrases like "it has always been done this way" limit our ability to innovate. This type of thinking keeps us trapped in past solutions that may not be effective for new challenges. Key lesson: daring to question the established is the first step towards innovation. Closed mind. Refusing to listen to new ideas or perspectives isolates us from opportunities. An open mind is essential to tapping into your full creative potential. Key lesson: the more diverse your perspective, the more creative your ideas. Inspiring example: the question that revolutionized an industry. Schwartz tells the story of an entrepreneur who transformed his industry by challenging traditional norms. It all started with a simple but powerful question: what could be done better? Instead of accepting conventional practices, this entrepreneur dared to explore new possibilities, questioning every step of the process. His creative approach not only improved results, but also opened new doors for innovation and success. Here's a thought. When was the last time you questioned something in your life or work? What could you improve if you started asking questions like, "Why not?" or "How can I do it differently?" How to develop creative thinking. Schwartz offers practical strategies to cultivate creativity in your daily life. Constantly ask questions. Don't accept things as they are. Ask yourself, why is it done this way? What could I change to improve? What other options do I have? Questions stimulate your mind to seek innovative solutions. Surround yourself with diverse minds. Talking to people from different fields or perspectives broadens your vision and generates new ideas. Practical example: if you work in technology, talk to someone from the arts or education world. Combining ideas from different disciplines can be a source of inspiration. Make time to reflect. In our daily routine, it's easy to get caught up in the rush and neglect time to think. Schwartz suggests setting aside specific times to reflect and seek creative solutions. Practical tip: set aside 10 minutes a day to sit down with a notebook and jot down any ideas that come to mind. Adopt an experimental mindset. Creativity flourishes when you give yourself permission to try new things without fear of failure. Each attempt, successful or not, brings you closer to an innovative solution. Practical exercise. Cultivate your creativity. Identify an area in your life or work that could be improved. Ask yourself, what could I do differently here? Write down 3 possible solutions, even if they seem unusual. Don't dismiss any ideas. The creative process often begins with unconventional thinking. Implement one of these ideas and see the results. Here's a thought. What could you improve in your life or work if you allowed your creativity to flow freely? What new opportunities might arise from exploring options you hadn't previously considered? The connection between dreams and creativity. Schwartz explains that creative thinking is also deeply tied to our ability to dream big. When you allow your mind to explore possibilities without limitations, you create a solid foundation for success. Dreams aren't just aspirations, they're maps to what you can achieve with creativity and action. An example: suppose you dream of starting your own business. Instead of focusing on difficulties, use your creativity to think of unique ways to approach challenges and stand out in the marketplace. Creativity doesn't just solve problems, it also turns your dreams into concrete plans. Conclusion: the transformative power of creative thinking. David Schwartz reminds us that we all have the ability to think and dream creatively. By breaking through the barriers of fear, questioning the established, and opening our minds to new ideas, we can transform not only our lives, but also the world around us. The next time you face a challenge, ask yourself, what could I do differently here? And allow yourself to explore possibilities without fear of failure. Remember, creativity has no limits, only those that you put on it. What challenge could you solve if you allowed your creativity to flow? Creative thinking is not a special gift. It is a skill that you can develop. Chapter 6. You are what you think you are. Our self-image determines our reality. David Schwartz reminds us that our self-image is the starting point for our actions and results. The way we see ourselves determines how we interact with the world, what goals we dare to pursue, and how far we are willing to go. If we believe we are capable and worthy, we act confidently and achieve more. Conversely, if our self-image is filled with doubt and insecurity, we are likely to limit ourselves before we even try. The impact of self-image on our daily lives. Schwartz illustrates this idea with a practical example. Imagine two salespeople. One sees himself as a successful professional with the skills necessary to close deals. The other perceives himself as insecure and inexperienced. Even though they both have the same product, the first will project confidence and attract clients, while the second will have difficulty even making his presentation. Our perception of who we are directly influences how we act. If we want positive results, we must begin by building a solid and confident self-image. Here's a thought for you. How do you see yourself right now? What beliefs about your ability are helping or limiting you? How to build a positive self-image. Schwartz offers us practical steps to improve our self-image and, consequently, our actions and results. Act like the person you want to be. Behavior builds confidence. Even if you don't feel completely confident, start acting as if you are already the person you want to be. Practical example: if you want to be a leader, start behaving like one. Be proactive, make firm decisions, and support those around you. Take care of your personal presentation. How you present yourself to the world affects not only how others see you, but also how you feel about yourself. Practical tip: dress in a way that makes you feel confident and professional. Speak clearly and confidently. This is not pretending, but building a more confident version of yourself. Use positive affirmations. Repeat phrases that reinforce a positive self-image. For example, I am capable of achieving my goals, or I am confident in my abilities. These affirmations, although simple, can change your mindset over time. Surround yourself with people who reinforce you. Your environment influences how you see yourself. Seek to surround yourself with people who support you and believe in you, rather than those who criticize you or minimize your achievements. Avoid the comparison trap. One of the main causes of a negative self-image is constant comparison with others. Schwartz reminds us that each person has a unique path and that measuring ourselves against others only takes us away from our own progress. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your own progress. Celebrate your accomplishments, no matter how small, and recognize how much you've grown. Practical exercise: redefine your self-image. Write down how you currently see yourself. Be honest with yourself. What beliefs do you have about your abilities, your appearance, and your ability to achieve goals? Identify the areas you want to improve. Choose one or two specific areas you want to work on. Create positive affirmations. Write down phrases that reinforce the version of yourself you want to build. Read them out loud every day. Take an action that reinforces that new image. If you want to see yourself as someone organized, start planning your days. If you want to feel more confident, practice public speaking. Here's a thought. What steps could you take today to start building a stronger, more positive self-image? Remember that every action counts, no matter how small it may seem. How a better self-image transforms your life. When you improve your self-image, not only do your actions change, but also how others perceive you. The confidence you project attracts opportunities and people who can help you grow. Here's an inspiring story. In the book, Schwartz mentions a young man who always felt inferior due to his lack of work experience. However, he decided to start acting like a confident professional, taking care of his appearance, practicing his communication, and accepting new challenges. Over time, that new attitude not only changed how others saw him, but also how he saw himself, leading him to achieve goals that previously seemed impossible. When you believe in your worth, the world begins to reflect that belief. Conclusion: you define who you are. David Schwartz leaves us with a powerful lesson. Our self-image is not set in stone. We can change it, strengthen it, and mold it to reflect our full potential. It doesn't matter where you are now. What matters is the version of yourself you decide to build from this moment on. Ask yourself, what image of myself do I have? If you find that it is limited, take steps today to transform it. Act like the person you want to be, and you will soon realize that you already are. What image of yourself are you ready to change? Remember, change begins with a thought, but is consolidated with action. Chapter 7. Manage your environment. Go first class. Your environment profoundly influences your success and happiness. David Schwartz teaches us that the environment we choose directly affects our mindset, decisions, and results. The people we spend the most time with, the places we work or live, and even the conversations we have shape the way we see the world and ourselves. If you surround yourself with negative or mediocre people, their attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors will inevitably seep into your life. In contrast, a positive and stimulating environment can motivate you to reach for bigger goals and think big. The influence of your environment on your success. Our environment acts as a mirror, reflecting what we believe and how we act. Schwartz explains that toxic environments foster limiting thoughts, while positive environments inspire confidence, action, and creativity. Here's an example. A young professional who worked surrounded by colleagues who constantly complained about their jobs and avoided challenges began to feel demotivated and doubtful about his own ability. He decided to join a group of ambitious entrepreneurs who encouraged him to think big and take calculated risks. In less than a year, his attitude and career took a radical turn. When you change your environment, you change your results. How to create a positive and stimulating environment. Surround yourself with winners. People with a positive and ambitious mindset will challenge you to grow. Look for people who are already achieving what you aspire to achieve. Practical tip: join communities, events, or groups that share your interests and goals. If you want to be an entrepreneur, surrounding yourself with other entrepreneurs can inspire and motivate you. Avoid poisonous thoughts. Destructive criticism, gossip, and negative conversations drain your energy and undermine your confidence. Keep these people and situations at a distance. Practical example: if you have a friend or colleague who constantly criticizes your ideas or minimizes your achievements, limit the time you spend with them. Choose quality over quantity. It is better to have a small circle of friends or colleagues who push you to be better than many acquaintances who drag you down. The quality of your relationships is much more important than quantity. A reflection: how many of the people in your current circle inspire and motivate you? How many of them hold you back or drain your energy? Go first class, raise your standards. Schwartz uses the metaphor of traveling first class as a reminder that we deserve the best in life, as long as we are willing to work for it. This doesn't mean overspending, but rather adopting a mindset of excellence in everything you do, from the people you interact with to the goals you pursue. Acting as if you already belong in a high-level environment motivates you to behave according to those standards. Practical exercise: review and improve your environment. Do an audit of your social circle. Make a list of the people you spend the most time with. Ask yourself, does this person inspire or limit me? What attitudes or behaviors of this person have I adopted? Identify areas for improvement. Decide which relationships you need to strengthen and which you need to limit. Also consider how you can engage in more positive environments. Take action. Find new social circles, support groups, or mentors. Set boundaries with negative people. Transform your physical space into a place that motivates you. A clean desk, inspiring decor, or even a library with books that inspire you. How a positive environment transforms lives. Schwartz shares numerous examples of people who made significant changes by adjusting their environment. One notable story is that of an entrepreneur who, by changing his social circle to one filled with ambitious people, not only increased his income, but also improved his confidence and outlook on life. Here's a thought. How much of your current success is being shaped by the people and places you interact with? What changes can you make today to surround yourself with more positive influences? Conclusion: design an environment that drives your success. David Schwartz teaches us that success doesn't happen in isolation. The people we spend time with, the conversations we have, and the places we invest our energy profoundly influence our mindset and results. By surrounding yourself with a positive, stimulating environment, you open yourself up to new possibilities and unlock your true potential. Assess your current environment and take steps to surround yourself with people, ideas, and places that inspire you to think and act big. Remember, a change in your environment can make the difference between success and mediocrity. What aspect of your environment are you ready to change today? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more life-changing content. Remember, surrounding yourself with excellence is the first step toward an extraordinary life. Chapter 8. Make your attitudes your allies. Your attitude is either your best ally or your worst enemy. David Schwartz teaches us that the attitude we adopt toward life has a direct impact on our results. We can't always control circumstances, but we always have the power to decide how to respond to them. Successful people don't have a problem-free life. They face challenges like all of us. The difference is in how they face them, with an attitude that drives us forward rather than holding us back. Attitude acts as an internal engine. If we orient it toward the positive, it helps us overcome obstacles and achieve our goals. If we allow it to be negative, it holds us back and sabotages our efforts. Attitude as a tool for success. Schwartz explains that often, the difference between people who succeed and those who don't is not in their talent or skills, but in their attitude. A positive attitude not only improves our perception of challenges, but also how others perceive us. An example. In the book, Schwartz tells the story of a salesman who transformed his career by deciding to act with enthusiasm in every interaction, no matter how he felt that day. This change in his attitude not only increased his sales, but also strengthened his relationships with clients and colleagues. Your attitude not only affects your performance, but also how others react to you. A positive attitude builds confidence, enthusiasm, and opportunities. How to cultivate a positive attitude. Practice gratitude. We often focus on what we lack, forgetting to appreciate what we already have. Gratitude helps us change that focus, improving our mood and perspective. Practical example, every night, write down 3 things you are grateful for. They can be big or small, from a major accomplishment to enjoying a good meal. See problems as opportunities. Challenges are not punishments, they are lessons in disguise. Every time you face a problem, think about what you can learn or how you can grow from it. Practical tip. When faced with a challenge, ask yourself this question: what can I learn from this situation? Act with enthusiasm. Even though you may not always feel motivated, acting with energy and enthusiasm can change your mood and that of those around you. Practical example. Before you start your day, take a few minutes to visualize how you want to feel and act. Then, adopt that attitude, even if it doesn't feel natural at first. The transformative power of attitude. Schwartz reminds us that while we can't control all of life's circumstances, we can control how we respond to them. This gives us immense power, the power to transform any situation with our attitude. Here's an inspiring story. An entrepreneur in financial trouble decided to shift his focus from complaints to action. Instead of lamenting what he didn't have, he enthusiastically began working on what he could do. His positive attitude not only helped him overcome his crisis, but also attracted partners and clients who valued his energy and determination. Attitude doesn't change circumstances instantly, but it does change how you deal with them and, eventually, the results you get. Practical exercise. Check your attitude. Take inventory of your thoughts. Take a few minutes to reflect on how you deal with daily challenges. Do you focus on the negative or on the possibilities? Find an opportunity in a current problem. Think about a challenge you're facing right now. Write down one positive thing you could learn or do from that situation. Act with intention. Choose a time of day to act with enthusiasm, even if you don't feel 100%. Observe how this change affects your mood and the responses of those around you. Here's a thought for you. How do you face daily challenges? With complaints or with determination? Remember that, although you can't control all circumstances, you can always choose your attitude. How a positive attitude can transform your life. Schwartz explains that a positive attitude not only improves our perception of ourselves, but also how we interact with the world. People who act with energy, gratitude, and enthusiasm not only achieve more, they also enjoy the process more. Your attitude is a daily choice. Make it your greatest ally to overcome obstacles and achieve your goals. Conclusion: make your attitude your best ally. David Schwartz reminds us that attitude is not something fixed, it is a tool that we can adjust and use to our advantage. When you choose a positive attitude, you turn every day into an opportunity to learn, grow, and get closer to your dreams. The next time you face a challenge, take a deep breath and ask yourself, how can I use this situation as an opportunity to improve? Adopt a positive attitude and watch things begin to change. What challenge are you ready to face with a new attitude? Your attitude doesn't just define your day, it defines your life. Chapter 9. Get into the habit of action. Success favors those who take action. David Schwartz reminds us that one of the greatest enemies of success is procrastination. We spend too much time planning, thinking about how to get started, or waiting for the perfect moment, when all we really need is to take the first step. Action is the most powerful tool to achieve our goals, and as Schwartz explains, even imperfect action has more value than standing still. The habit of action not only accelerates your progress, it also builds confidence and brings you steadily closer to your goals. The paralysis of procrastination. Procrastination, the habit of putting off what we know we should do, often stems from fear of failure, perfectionism, or a lack of clarity. Schwartz points out that the ideal time to act rarely comes. Waiting for perfection or optimal conditions only delays progress. The best time to act is now. Action creates momentum, and that momentum brings you closer to your goals. How to develop the habit of action. Break big tasks into small steps. Often, what stops us is the feeling of being overwhelmed by the magnitude of our goals. Breaking a big goal into small steps makes it more manageable and less intimidating. Practical example, if your goal is to write a book, don't focus on the entire project. Instead, commit to writing 1 page a day. Start now, don't wait for the perfect moment. Schwartz emphasizes that ideal conditions almost never come. Acting with what you have, where you are, is the only way to move forward. Practical tip, if you've been putting something off, spend just 5 minutes on that task today. You're more likely to keep working once you get started. Celebrate every step forward, no matter how small. Recognizing your accomplishments, even the smallest ones, is an effective way to stay motivated. Every step you take is progress toward your goal. Practical example, if you manage to complete a part of a project, take a moment to congratulate yourself or reward yourself in some way. An example, acting with what you have. Schwartz tells the story of a young man who dreamed of starting his own business, but felt paralyzed because he didn't have enough money, experience, or time. Ultimately, he decided to start with what he had, an idea and a small network of contacts. Although he faced challenges, his decision to act led to success. You don't need to have everything figured out to get started. Every action you take gives you clarity and brings you closer to your goals. Here's a thought for you. Think about something you've been putting off. Maybe it's a project, an important conversation, or a personal goal. Ask yourself, what small step can I take today to get started? What's the worst that could happen if I act now? And what could I gain by doing it? Remember, every action, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. How action transforms your results. When you decide to act, you break the cycle of doubts and excuses that perpetuate inaction. Each step you take builds confidence, creates opportunities, and brings you closer to concrete results. Establish a daily habit of action. Spend at least 10 minutes a day on something you've been putting off. Consistency is more powerful than perfection. Conclusion: action is the bridge to your goals. David Schwartz leaves us with a clear lesson. Success is not reserved for those who wait for perfect conditions or have the best ideas, but for those who take action. By adopting the habit of action, you not only build a path toward your goals, but you also develop the confidence and discipline to achieve them. The next time you feel the temptation to procrastinate, take a small step, no matter how insignificant it may seem. That first move can be the start of something big. What are you putting off that you could start today? Remember, there is no better time to act than now. Chapter 10. How to turn defeat into victory. Defeat is nothing more than a lesson in disguise. David Schwartz invites us to change our perspective on failure. Instead of seeing it as an end, we should recognize it as an inevitable part of the path to success. Defeats are opportunities in disguise, moments to reflect, learn, and improve. What really matters is not falling, but how you get up after each fall. Failure as a part of learning. We all face defeats at some point in our lives. A business that didn't work out, a failed exam, a broken relationship. But Schwartz emphasizes that these moments don't define our future, it's our reaction that defines it. Failure isn't an indicator of your worth, but rather an opportunity to grow and hone your skills. Every defeat can teach you something valuable if you're willing to listen to the lesson. In the book, Schwartz tells the story of a salesman who lost one of his biggest clients due to a misunderstanding. Although he was initially discouraged, he decided to use this experience as an opportunity to improve his communication and attention to detail. Within a few months, he not only won the client back, but doubled his sales. How to turn defeats into wins. Change your perspective. Instead of blaming yourself or regretting, ask yourself questions that help you learn. What can I learn from this experience? What will I do differently next time? How can I use this obstacle as a stepping stone to something better? Accept defeat as part of the process. There is no success without setbacks. Every successful person has a story of failures that prepared them for success. Practical tip: the next time you face a setback, remember that you are in good company. All great achievements are preceded by challenges. Take action to improve. Use what you have learned to adjust your approach and move forward with greater strength. Practical example: if you failed an exam, review your study methods and adjust your routine. If a project didn't work out, analyze what factors influenced the outcome and look for ways to improve them. Keep a positive mindset. Defeat can be discouraging, but the attitude with which you face it will make all the difference. Focus on what you can control and move forward with determination. Practical tip: surround yourself with people who support you and motivate you to get up after a fall. Practical exercise: refocus your failures. Think about a recent defeat. Write down what happened and how it made you feel. Identify the lessons. Write down at least 3 things you learned from that experience. Design an improvement plan. Set a concrete step you can take to apply those lessons in the future. Here's a thought. Do you remember a time when a failure led you to learn something valuable? If you face an obstacle today, ask yourself how you can use it to grow and reinvent yourself. How defeats can drive success. Schwartz explains that defeats are not permanent failures, but part of the learning and growth process. Successful people not only face challenges, but also use them as stepping stones to their goals. An inspiring story. An entrepreneur failed at his first business, losing almost everything he had invested. Instead of giving up, he analyzed the mistakes he had made and used that knowledge to build his next project. Eventually, this second business was not only successful, but also exceeded all of his initial expectations. Every defeat can be a stepping stone to success if you decide to use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Here's a thought for you. Close your eyes and reflect. What recent defeat has challenged me the most? What can I learn from this experience? What steps can I take today to turn this fall into progress? Remember, defeats are inevitable, but the way you face them is what determines your destiny. Conclusion: defeat is a powerful teacher. David Schwartz leaves us with an invaluable lesson. Defeats are not the end, but a new beginning. Every fall is an opportunity to learn, improve, and get closer to your goals. If you adopt this mindset, there will be no obstacle that can stop you. The next time you face a defeat, take a deep breath, analyze the situation, and take action. Remember, success is not measured by how many times you fall, but by how many times you get up. What defeat are you ready to turn into a victory? Every failure contains the seed of a new success. Chapter 11. Use goals to help you grow. A goal without a plan is just a dream. David Schwartz highlights the importance of setting clear and effective goals as an essential component of achieving success. Goals not only give us direction, they also motivate us to take action. Without a defined purpose, it's easy to get lost in the daily grind and settle for less than we're truly capable of achieving. The true power of goals lies in their ability to transform from mere ideas into a concrete plan that propels us forward. The importance of setting clear goals. Having a clear, specific goal is like having a map that guides your decisions and actions. Without one, you risk getting sidetracked and wasting your time and energy on activities that don't bring you closer to your dreams. A practical example. Imagine you want to be healthier. Instead of simply saying, I want to get fit, define your goal specifically. I want to lose 5 kilos in the next 3 months by adopting a balanced diet and exercising 3 times a week. This level of detail allows you to create a clear, actionable plan. The more specific your goal is, the easier it will be to plan the steps needed to achieve it. How to set effective goals. Be specific. A general goal like, I want to be successful, lacks direction. Define what success means to you. Is it opening a business, improving your relationships, or achieving a financial goal? Practical example. Instead of saying, I want to save money, define, I want to save $5,000 for a trip in the next 12 months. Set deadlines. Without a defined deadline, goals lose urgency. By assigning dates, you create a sense of accountability that motivates you to act. Practical tip. Break your goals down into short dash, medium dash, and long-term objectives. For example, if you want to write a book in a year, set monthly goals such as completing a chapter each month. Break it down into small steps. Breaking down a goal into smaller tasks makes it more manageable and less overwhelming. Practical example. If you want to start a business, break your goal down into steps such as research the market. Create an initial budget. Search for suppliers or partners. Follow up regularly. Review your progress regularly to make sure you're on the right track and adjust your plan as needed. Inspiring example. From a dream to a reality. In the book, Schwartz mentions a woman who dreamed of opening her own clothing store. At first, the idea seemed overwhelming and out of reach. However, she decided to break her goal down into small, manageable steps. Research suppliers. Create the budget. Search for available premises. With discipline and focus, she managed to open her store in less than a year. Progress begins with the first step. Even if the final goal seems far away, each small step brings you closer to it. Practical exercise. Define your goals today. Think of a goal that you have been putting off. Write it down on a piece of paper, being as specific as possible. Break the goal down into small steps. Write down the individual tasks you need to complete to reach it. Set a deadline. Define when you want to reach your goal and assign dates for each step. Act now. Choose one of the smallest steps and do it today. Here's a thought for you. What important goal have you been putting off? What small step could you take today to get closer to it? Remember, progress is not immediate, but every action, no matter how small, adds up. How goals transform lives. Having clear goals not only guides you, but also motivates you to overcome obstacles. When you know where you are going, every decision and action has a purpose. An inspiring story. A man who dreamed of writing a book began by devoting just 30 minutes a day to his writing. Although it seemed like slow progress, his perseverance led him to complete his work in less than a year. His success was the result of a clear goal, a defined plan, and daily action. Success doesn't come overnight. It's the result of small, consistent steps directed toward a clear objective. Conclusion: goals as a catalyst for growth. David Schwartz teaches us that goals are much more than just wishes. They are powerful tools to transform our lives. A clear goal, broken down into actionable steps and backed by a plan, has the power to turn dreams into reality. Don't leave your goals up in the air. Write them down, break them down, and work on them every day. Remember, progress begins with action, no matter how small. What goal are you ready to reach? The first step toward your dreams begins today. Chapter 12. How to Think Like a Leader. Leadership is not about dominating, but about inspiring. David Schwartz redefines leadership as a mindset rather than a title. You don't need to be at the head of a large organization or hold a high position to be a leader. Anyone can be a leader in their personal, family, or professional life by taking responsibility, making decisions with confidence, and motivating others to reach their full potential. Effective leadership is not based on control or authority, but on the ability to inspire, guide, and build trust with the people around you. Leadership as a mindset. Leadership begins with the way you think and act. It's not just about giving orders, but about serving as a role model, showing empathy, vision, and determination. Schwartz explains that effective leaders think in terms of solutions, work for the common good, and take risks when necessary. Being a leader doesn't mean knowing all the answers, but rather being willing to listen, learn, and act with integrity and courage. Principles of effective leadership. Listen more, talk less. A good leader knows that listening is more valuable than imposing their opinion. By valuing others' ideas and concerns, you not only build trust, but you also find more effective solutions. Practical example, in a meeting, instead of speaking first, ask open-ended questions like, "What do you think about this challenge?" and take notes on what you hear. Think in terms of a team. Effective leaders prioritize collective success over individual success. When you work for the benefit of the team, you build a sense of shared purpose that motivates everyone to do their best. Practical tip: recognize your team's accomplishments and celebrate successes together. This fosters collaboration and commitment. Make courageous decisions. Leadership involves acting even when there is uncertainty. Leaders don't always have all the answers, but they make decisions based on the information available and adapt if necessary. Practical example, if you're leading a project and an unexpected problem arises, make a decision based on your values and what you think is best for the group, even if it's not popular at the time. Here's an example: leadership from empathy. Schwartz tells the story of a manager at a technology company who was facing a demotivated team. Instead of imposing tasks or demanding results, he held one-on-one meetings to listen to each team member's concerns. With that information, he implemented small changes that increased the group's motivation and commitment. The result was not only the successful completion of the project, but also a more united and empowered team for future challenges. Effective leadership begins with empathy and a commitment to understanding the needs of the people you lead. How to develop your leadership. Identify areas where you can lead. Ask yourself, in what areas of my life can I take more initiative? It could be in your family, at work, or even in your community. Develop a clear vision. Define goals for yourself and the people you lead. Communicate that vision in an inspiring way so everyone knows where they are headed. Inspire by example. The most effective leaders don't just talk, they act. Be consistent with what you say and do to build trust and respect. Encourage collaboration. Promote an environment where people feel valued and motivated to contribute. A tip: organize meetings or brainstorming sessions where everyone can share their perspectives without fear of being judged. Here's a practical exercise: identify and apply leadership. Think of an area where you would like to exercise leadership. It could be in your workplace, at home, or on a personal project. Define a clear objective. What positive change do you want to achieve? Make a list of actions. Write down 3 concrete things you can do to guide others toward that goal. Take action. Start with one of those actions this week and see how your environment responds. Here's a reflection. In what areas of your life could you exercise better leadership? Remember that leading does not mean controlling, but rather guiding by example, empathy, and vision. How leadership can transform your life and the lives of others. Being a leader not only helps you achieve your goals, but it also inspires the people around you to do their best. Schwartz explains that true leadership is an act of service. By elevating others, you elevate yourself. Start practicing leadership in small daily actions, such as listening more attentively or making decisions with confidence. Over time, these actions will become habits that define your leadership style. Bottom line: lead with purpose and empathy. David Schwartz reminds us that leadership is not a matter of titles or authority, but of mindset and actions. A good leader inspires others, makes courageous decisions, and works as a team to achieve common goals. Reflect on how you can lead in your daily life. Ask yourself, what can I do today to inspire and guide those around me? Remember, leading is not imposing. It is serving with purpose and empathy. What area of your life needs stronger leadership? We all have the potential to be leaders when we act with intention and empathy. Chapter 13: The Magic of Immediate Action. You don't need to wait for conditions to be perfect to act. David Schwartz highlights that one of the most common traps we face is putting off our goals, waiting for the perfect moment. The reality is that these ideal conditions rarely come, and by waiting for them, we only prolong our progress. Schwartz invites us to adopt an immediate action mindset, reminding us that even a small step today can build the momentum needed to move toward our goals. The paralysis of waiting. Putting off our goals is often motivated by fear, insecurity, or the pursuit of perfection. We tell ourselves we need more time, money, or experience, when in reality all we need is to get started. You don't need to wait for everything to be perfectly aligned. The best opportunities are often born in the midst of uncertainty. An example to inspire you: start with what you have. Schwartz tells the story of a young aspiring entrepreneur who dreamed of opening his own coffee shop. However, he kept waiting for more capital and experience until he decided to start with a coffee cart in his neighborhood. Although his start was modest, this small initial step allowed him to gain experience and customers, and eventually expand into a chain of local coffee shops. Acting with what you have, rather than waiting for what you don't have, is the key to building something meaningful. How to apply the magic of immediate action. Make a list of immediate tasks. Identify specific actions you can take today to move toward your goals. These tasks don't have to be big. The important thing is that they are actionable. Practical example: if your goal is to learn a new language, instead of waiting to sign up for a course, start by watching a short video or learning 5 new words today. Adopt the 5-minute rule. If something can be done in 5 minutes, do it immediately. This principle helps prevent backlogs and creates a quick action mindset. Practical tip: got an email due? The payment to make? If you can get it done in 5 minutes, don't put it off. Embrace imperfection. Many times we don't start because we're afraid of getting it wrong. But Schwartz reminds us that an imperfect start is better than no start at all. Perfection can come with time, but progress begins with action. Practical example: if you want to write a book, don't worry about creating a perfect chapter from the start. Start with a draft without judging its quality. How action creates momentum. Every time you take action, no matter how small, you build momentum. This momentum helps you stay focused, overcome procrastination, and increase your motivation. Here's a tip: spend 10 minutes a day on an important goal. Even if it seems like a minimal effort, over time this habit can lead to great achievements. What have you been putting off because you don't think the time is right? Take that first step, even if it seems small or insignificant. Progress is not measured by size, but by consistency. Let's do a practical exercise. Take action now. Identify a goal you've been putting off. Write it down on a piece of paper or on your phone. Make a list of simple tasks related to that goal. Break the goal down into small actions you can start now. Do at least one task today. No matter how small, the important thing is to get started. An example: if you want to improve your fitness, go for a 10-minute walk today, instead of waiting to join a gym. Action as a confidence builder. Taking action not only brings you closer to your goals, it also builds your confidence. Each small victory reinforces your belief in your ability to achieve great things. Here's an inspiring story. A woman who dreamed of starting a baking business began by selling cakes to her friends and family from home. Although her start was small, over time she gained loyal customers, built a brand, and eventually opened her own shop. Her success began with one simple action: baking her first cake for a friend. Success is not reserved for those with the best resources, but for those who take action with what they have. Conclusion: the magic of acting now. David Schwartz reminds us that there is no perfect time to start, but there is one powerful time: now. Immediate action, no matter how small, has the power to transform your goals from abstract dreams into tangible realities. Don't wait any longer to pursue your dreams. Identify a step you can take today and do it. Remember, every action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. What have you been putting off that you could start today? Share your first step in the comments and subscribe for more motivational content. Remember, you don't need to wait for conditions to be perfect, you just need to take action. Chapter 14. Managing your environment for success. Success doesn't happen alone. You need to surround yourself with the right people and stimuli. David Schwartz emphasizes that our environment plays a crucial role in our success and well-being. It doesn't just refer to the physical space we live or work in, but also to the people we share our time with and the ideas we consume. If you're surrounded by negativity, it's going to be hard to stay positive and focused. That's why it's vital to build an environment that motivates, supports, and inspires you to achieve your goals. The impact of your environment on your mindset. Your environment directly influences how you think and act. Negative people, disorganized spaces, and unconstructive stimuli can drain your energy and limit your growth. Instead, a positive environment fills you with energy, creativity, and focus. If you want to succeed, start by evaluating and adjusting your environment. How to build a positive environment for success. Choose your friends and colleagues wisely. The people you spend the most time with have a huge influence on your attitude and actions. Seek to surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow, support you in your goals, and share a positive mindset. Practical tip: take inventory of your social circle. Who inspires and motivates you? Who drains or holds you back? Consider strengthening positive relationships and limiting time with toxic people. Create a motivating physical space. Your physical environment should reflect your goals and aspirations. A space that is tidy, clean, and decorated with items that inspire you can help you stay focused and motivated. Practical example: if you work from home, organize your desk with images of your goals, motivational quotes, or items that make you feel calm and focused. Consume inspiring content. What you read, listen to, and watch is also part of your environment. Make sure you feed your mind with ideas and messages that push you forward. Practical tip: listen to motivational podcasts, read books on personal development, and watch educational videos related to your goals. Surround yourself with positive stimuli. Fill your environment with items that remind you of your goals and encourage growth. This can include visual reminders, music that inspires you, or daily routines that reinforce your motivation. A practical example: a change of environment transforms lives. Schwartz shares the story of a man who worked in a toxic environment where complaints, criticism, and negativity were constant. This environment affected his productivity and mood. He decided to change jobs and join a team where mutual support and collaboration prevailed. This simple change not only increased his productivity, but also improved his happiness and motivation. A positive environment not only affects your results, but also your emotional well-being and your perception of what is possible. Here's a practical exercise. Evaluate and improve your environment. Make a list of the elements of your current environment. Include people, physical spaces, and content you consume. Identify what drives you and what limits you. Note which of those elements help you move forward and which represent an obstacle. Make a plan to improve your environment. Strengthen positive relationships and seek new connections with people who share your values. Organize your space to make it more functional and motivating. Select books, podcasts, or videos that reinforce your goals and values. For reflection: is your current environment helping you achieve your goals, or is it holding you back? If it's the latter, take action today to make the necessary adjustments. How a positive environment drives success. When you surround yourself with supportive people and stimuli, your mindset changes. You feel more motivated, you are more creative, and it is easier for you to overcome challenges. Schwartz explains that our environment is like the soil where we plant our goals. If it is fertile and cared for, our ideas and efforts will flourish. Review your environment periodically to make sure it remains aligned with your goals. A positive environment is not something that happens by accident. It is something you intentionally build. Bottom line: design your environment for success. David Schwartz reminds us that success is not achieved alone. It is deeply influenced by the people you surround yourself with, the space where you work, and the stimuli you consume. By building a positive environment, you create a solid foundation for achieving your goals and staying motivated. Take the time to analyze and adjust your environment. Every small positive change you make can make a big difference on your path to success. What aspect of your environment are you ready to improve? A positive environment is the fertile soil where your goals flourish. Chapter 15: Overcoming Discouragement. Discouragement is temporary. Success is permanent. David Schwartz recognizes that we all face moments of doubt, discouragement, or even despair on our path to success. These feelings, while natural, should not become permanent obstacles. The key is to learn to face them with resilience and keep moving toward our goals, even when progress seems slow or the difficulties insurmountable. Discouragement is a passing emotion, while the achievements you achieve by overcoming it can last a lifetime. Discouragement as part of the process. It's normal to feel discouraged when things don't go as planned, but Schwartz reminds us that every great achievement is preceded by moments of uncertainty and challenge. Success isn't about avoiding discouragement, but about learning to face it with determination and perspective. Discouragement is a sign that you're stepping out of your comfort zone and facing significant challenges. Recognize it as part of the path to success, not a sign of failure. Strategies to combat discouragement. Remember your past achievements. One of the best ways to overcome self-doubt is to remember your past successes, no matter how small. These achievements are proof that you are capable of overcoming challenges and achieving your goals. Practical example. Make a list of 5 things you have accomplished in the past that seemed difficult at the time. Read this list whenever you feel discouragement creeping in. Seek support. Sharing your worries with someone you trust can help you see things from a new perspective. A word of encouragement or wise advice can be just what you need to regain motivation. Practical tip: surround yourself with positive, motivating people who push you to keep going. Take a break. Sometimes the best remedy for discouragement is to temporarily unplug. Taking a break can help you regain clarity, energy, and focus. Practical example: if you are working on a project and feel overwhelmed, take a few minutes to walk, meditate, or do something you enjoy. This time off can rekindle your creativity and determination. Focus on the next small step. When you feel overwhelmed, focus on one small, manageable action instead of worrying about your entire goal. Every small step counts. Inspiring example: perseverance in the face of rejection. Schwartz tells the story of an entrepreneur who faced multiple rejections while trying to launch his product. Although each rejection was a discouraging blow, he decided to take them as opportunities to improve. He adjusted his approach and refined his proposal with each attempt. Eventually, his perseverance led him to success, proving that each no brought him closer to a yes. Failure is not the end, but rather a lesson that prepares you for your next attempt. Let's do a practical exercise. Overcome discouragement today. Identify the cause of your discouragement. Is it a project that seems too big? A recent rejection? Be specific about what is affecting you. Make a list of your past accomplishments. Write down 5 achievements that remind you of your ability to overcome challenges. Define a small immediate step. Choose a simple, concrete action you can take right now to move forward, even if it is small. Find inspiration. Read, listen to, or watch something that motivates you, such as a success story or a personal development podcast. Here's a thought. Is there something discouraging you right now? Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? And take a small step forward. How discouragement can become motivation. Schwartz explains that discouragement is not an enemy, but an opportunity to strengthen your resilience and focus. Every time you choose to keep going despite setbacks, you become stronger and more determined. The next time you feel discouraged, change your narrative. Instead of thinking, I can't do it, say, this is hard, but I can learn and improve. Bottom line, success is for those who persevere. David Schwartz leaves us with a key lesson. Success is not for those who never fall, but for those who always get up. Discouragement is a passing emotion that you can overcome with the right strategies and a focus on your long-term goals. When you face a moment of discouragement, remember your past achievements, seek support, and take a small step forward. Every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your dreams. What is discouraging you right now? What small step can you take today to overcome it? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more motivational content. Remember, success is permanent when you choose not to give up. Thank you for joining me on this journey of learning and overcoming. Keep going and make every challenge an opportunity to grow.